I always believed in loyalty, in the unshakable foundation of a marriage built on trust. So when I discovered my wife Jenna was cheating, it felt like the ground beneath me had crumbled into nothing. We had been married for 5 years, a relationship I thought was filled with love, laughter, and plans for the future. I trusted her completely, and she shattered that trust in the cruelest way. It wasn't dramatic at first. The signs were subtle, almost too easy to miss. Working late, hiding her phone, vague explanations for her long absences. I didn't want to believe it, so I brushed off my suspicions until one day I came home early from work to surprise her with dinner. Instead of the joy I expected, I walked into a nightmare. There she was, sitting on a couch with a man I didn't recognize, their faces too close, their laughter too intimate. They froze when they saw me, and I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. Jenna tried to explain it away, stumbling over her words. But the truth was obvious. They weren't just friends. I didn't shout, I didn't throw anything. Instead, I walked out of the house and sat in my car, staring at the dashboard, my mind racing with disbelief and rage. That night, I slept in a hotel, my wedding ring feeling heavier than ever. By morning, I knew what I had to do. Jenna didn't see it coming. A week later, I handed her divorce papers. She cried, begged me to reconsider, said it was a mistake, and that it meant nothing but I was done. I couldn't forgive the betrayal, and I couldn't live with the idea of spending my life with someone who could lie so easily. The divorce was quick. I made sure to protect myself legally, taking what was fair, and leaving her with the house she had tainted. Once the papers were signed, I packed my bags and left the city. I didn't tell her where I was going, didn't say goodbye. I ghosted her completely. It was as if I vanished from her world, and honestly, that was the point. For years, I focused on rebuilding my life. I moved to a new state, started a new job, and eventually opened my own small business. I stayed single for a long time, unsure if I could trust anyone again, but eventually I began dating cautiously. Life was simple, peaceful, and drama-free, exactly what I needed. Then, out of nowhere, Jenna came back. It was a quiet afternoon when I saw her again. I was sitting in a cafe I often visited when she walked in. At first I thought I was imagining it, but there she was, standing in line looking almost the same as she had years ago, except older, with a hint of weariness in her eyes. I froze, unsure of what to do. She hadn't seen me yet, so I could have left unnoticed, but curiosity got the better of me. She spotted me as she turned to leave. With her coffee, her eyes widened, and for a moment she just stared. Then she smiled cautiously and walked over. "Hi, Matt," she said softly, her voice filled with hesitation. I nodded, keeping my face neutral. Jenna, she looked nervous, like she wasn't sure how to begin. "I didn't expect to see you here. It's been a long time." "It has," I replied, my tone clipped. "I've been wanting to talk to you," she admitted, her eyes darting to the floor. "I owe you an apology." I raised an eyebrow, not expecting those words, an apology after all these years. She nodded, her voice trembling slightly. "I know I hurt you, and I've carried the guilt with me ever since. I was selfish, and I destroyed something beautiful. I've thought about reaching out so many times, but I didn't think you'd want to hear from me." She wasn't wrong. Part of me wanted to get up and walk away, to leave her standing there with the weight of her regret. But another part of me wanted to hear what she had to say. I gestured to the chair across from me. "You have 5 minutes? Make it count." She sat down, clutching her coffee like it was a lifeline. After the divorce, everything fell apart. I thought I'd be happy, that what I did wouldn't matter in the long run. But it did. The man I cheated with, he left. Me, a few months later, lost the house, my friends, everything. And I realized how much I'd thrown away. I realized how much you meant to me. Her words hung in the air, heavy with regret. But I wasn't about to let her off the hook so easily. "Why are you telling me this now? What do you want from me?" Jenna hesitated, then looked me in the eye. "I don't want anything from you, Matt. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry. Truly, you didn't deserve what I did to you, and I hate myself for it." For a moment I just stared. Her apology felt genuine, and maybe she had changed. But the scars she left on me were still there, faint but unforgotten. I appreciate the apology, I said finally, but it doesn't change what happened. You made your choices, Jenna, and I made mine. I've moved on. Tears welled in her eyes, but she nodded. I understand. Just I'm glad you're doing well. You deserve to be happy. I didn't respond. There wasn't much else to say. She stood up, lingering for a moment as if hoping I might say something more, but I didn't. As she walked out of the cafe, I felt a strange mix of emotions, closure, relief, and even a small twinge of pity. Jenna had made her bed, and she had to lie in it. Her life was a cautionary tale, a reminder of what happens when you take people for granted. As for me, I finished my coffee, paid my bill, and walked out into the crisp afternoon air. I didn't look back. Jenna's chapter in my life was over, and for the first time in years, I felt completely free. Some people say time heals all wounds, but I think it's more about moving forward, letting go, and refusing to let the past define you. I had done just that, and for that, I was grateful.